It occurs to me that I've had essentially the same discussion with lots of different people so many times. Typically, it begins when they take exception to the idea that the universe came into existence without the intervention of any kind of intelligent being. They claim that the Big Bang model says that something came from nothing, and they dismiss this as being impossible for some reason, although they don't go into detail. They say that everything has a cause, often going so far as to assert that this is a law of some sort, and therefore the universe must have a cause. And they usually go on to characterize this cause as some kind of intelligence, which somehow takes the form of a god as described by one religion or another. So I reply, if everything must have a cause, and the universe was created by a god, what caused this god to exist? After all, if we stop inquiring once we get to God, we still haven't found a satisfying answer to where everything came from, and they respond by telling me that this law, that everything must have a cause, only applies to the universe, and a cause is only required for something that begins to exist, whereas this God has existed forever. And this is where we reach an impasse, because there's no point arguing with someone who's willing to so casually make assumptions without backing them up, and then selectively apply these laws that they've come up with for the benefit of their own argument. That's not an acceptable way to have a discussion, and there are so many elements of this argument that are inconsistent or just plain wrong. First of all, the Big Bang model of the universe does not say that something came from nothing. This is a common misconception, unfortunately, and it needs to be corrected. What the Big Bang model really says is that something came from something. The universe appears to have expanded from a very small, hot and dense singularity about 13.7 billion years ago, and that singularity was not nothing. It was something. The universe did not come from nothing. Now, I find it stunning that someone would claim that everything must have a cause, and somehow this is a law, and then immediately turn around and propose the existence of something that has no cause. So everything needs a cause except for that? A law with exceptions isn't really a law. It's more of a guideline or a suggestion. And if you're going to say that this supposed law only holds true within the universe, or it only applies to things that begin to exist, that means proposing some kind of extra universal realm where the rules don't apply, and things can exist forever with no beginning. And if you have no problem with the idea of a god whose existence extends infinitely into the past, we could just as well say the singularity that sparked the universe had always existed without a beginning. If the concept of something that exists forever is considered acceptable, there's no reason this should be any less plausible. Or alternatively, we could say that there's a chain of causes and effects that extends infinitely into the past, which eventually led to the Big Bang. And the idea that something caused the universe to begin, and the unproven assumption that this something existed forever without a cause, provides no reason to say that this cause was an intelligence of some sort, rather than just another natural event. And there's certainly nothing to indicate that this cause takes the form of a god from your favorite religion. So not only does this argument contradict its own premises, but even if we accept the flimsy attempts at resolving this contradiction, it still hasn't achieved the original goal of proving that a god exists. From beginning to end, this argument fails every step of the way. It's remarkable that so many people continue to use an argument that boils down to everything has a cause. Well, not everything. Therefore, God exists. And they think this is convincing? Well, it's not. But if they understood why, they probably wouldn't be using this argument to begin with.